as Adarsh was just mentioning that cost, time are one of the major factors which drive what a return management system is. I mean, you should have processes around return management system which actually reduces our cost or time or money. So the second reason, second objective of a good return management system would obviously be a good customer satisfaction or good customer experiences. So if I talk about the processes, what should be and what should not be, it is like at every step you need to have certain processes. You need to have certain processes which actually targets the objectives which we just mentioned. So one of them is like when you're outbounding and things, as we have just discussed that the reasons of return start well before customer presses that button. So you need to have a better catalog. You need to have better barcoding. You need to have better quality check mechanisms just before outbounding your products. This is one of the major areas where sellers can actually work to reduce the return rate. The second area where everybody needs to work is actually a seamless experience for sellers. What happens that return, there's a number of steps which in the return journey of a product. So uh, automatic allocation of courier or probably best fit courier, which saves the time, which saves the money, should be a priority for sellers. Once the returns are actually picked up, the warehousing staff should actually be informed that the items are going to be delivered tomorrow, so that I keep the bandwidth ready for processing returns. Third step probably would be a good image-based QC. So whenever items are returned, many of them are damaged. So I need to have a proper quality check mechanism just to ensure uh, whether it was the fault of a courier guy or a fault of my warehouse staff or fault of customer. So a good image-based quality check is a mechanism which can actually help us. Segregation of QC failed items. So if I talk about when items are actually inboarded, all the damaged items either have to be discarded, or the damaged item have to be refurbished. For that, you need to have a proper segregation. So again, standardized QC reasons is also needed, because unless you analyze the reasons of returns, you cannot reduce it in long term. Which again brings to our next point is return analytics. Now, return analytics is very important and often ignored point from sellers' point of view, because if you don't analyze the patterns, if you don't analyze the reasons, you will never be able to reduce the returns in long run. And many of the sellers are actually have are actually seeing a consistent rate of return. They have not been able to reduce the return rate. So this is the very important part. Last point is like uh, return the reconciliation of return. I mean, reconciliation of return is very important from payment perspective, because many marketplaces levy penalties on return products. You happen to incur return shipping cost as well along with the product. I mean, there are a lot of parameters which are to be factored in while the payment is being made from the marketplace, and what sort of penalty, what sort of return shipping cost, and all those things. So payment reconciliation, inventory reconciliation, these things are also important when it comes to actual return, setting up processes around return management system. I think Adarsh can also discuss around the industry specific. There are many industries, different industries, which would have different good practices uh, for specifically designed for them. Others can actually discuss those differences as well. What do you, Adarsh?
Yes, Rishit, there are actually industry specific practices that are adopted. For example, if you take mattress industry, so since those are heavy mattresses, difficult to ship, and there's a huge shipping cost involved, so they generally do an approval. They have an approval process before they actually create the reverse pickup order and allot courier to it. The CRM team talks to the customer and sees if the issue can be resolved at their end, and not necessitating the return being necessarily taken. Then they have special packaging needs for the mattress industry. So they have to arrange for that packaging material and all. So the cycle is a little longer. If you talk about electronics industry, then you have doorstep QC. For example, when you order a mobile and exchange your mobile, so the mobile is QC check is done on your old mobile on whether everything is working or not. So these kind of requirements are specific to electronics, especially mobile. Then you have exchange orders for fashion. Nowadays, to decrease the courier cost and as well as to improve the customer experience, you take the old product, the return product, and deliver the new product to the customer in just one go. You take the old product and deliver the new product. So this also involves the QC of the old product at the doorstep. So this has its own complexities. And then you have omni-channel returns coming up now, big in COVID era. Since most of the retail stores are closed, they are being used as avenues for fulfilling the online orders. So when you return, when these things do come return, you would like to route it to the nearest store and not to the warehouse. So there are different routing rules for the omni-channel stores. So yes, there are industry-specific differences, and those need to be catered to while you develop a return management system for your industry.